Hi everyone, my name is Terri Westwell and today's Tuesday, which means it's time to discuss our book of the week, which is Never Lie by Freida McFadden. So first, this is a spoiler-free section, so if you haven't read this book yet, don't worry about it, it won't be spoiled for you here. There will be some spoiler-related things I want to discuss, but that'll be later on in the video and you will get plenty of warning. If you'd like to join in on any of the discussions, send me your thoughts, comments, or even a short video clip of you discussing the book. Then I'll list the next upcoming 4 books in the description below. I rated this book 4.5 stars, I really enjoyed it. To be honest, Freida McFadden is quite an easy win for me most of the time. Some of her books I haven't enjoyed quite as much, while others I've really loved, and this one definitely fits into that category. Her books are usually very easy to read, very bingeable and packed with twists, and this one was no exception. It's definitely what I have come to expect from Freida McFadden. So this book follows newlyweds Tasha and Ethan who are searching for their dream home. They end up visiting a remote house that once belonged to a psychiatrist who disappeared without a trace. When a snowstorm traps them inside, Tasha discovers a collection of tapes from the doctor's sessions, and as she listens to them, a much darker story unfolds. Piece by piece, the truth begins to surface. If I had to compare this to any other book, I would probably say that it's a mix between something like The Silent Patient and some of Freida McFadden's other books like The Housemaid or The Crash. It definitely has that psychological thriller vibe that focuses on discovering the truth leading up to a really big twist. It was a bit of a slow build, but I really didn't mind that. It hooked me pretty quickly, it was easy to read, and I was instantly curious as to what the hell was going on. I also had absolutely no idea where the book was heading, but I don't tend to overanalyze while I'm reading. I just sort of am along for the ride. The setup might be a little bit cliche with the snowstorm, the isolated house, and the hidden secrets, but honestly, I didn't really mind because the concept still felt very engaging and fresh. Even though it was a little bit of a slower burn, I do think that the pacing was really solid. There were certain elements like the tape recordings that just helped to keep things moving, and it added this storytelling element that just kept giving you bits of information, keeping you turning the pages. It's very bingeable and it keeps you reading because you just want to know what's on the next tape. I really enjoyed the big twist ending and I didn't see it coming. If you have read any of Freida McFadden's books before, then you probably already know that she does tend to go for this big dramatic twist ending, and this one is no exception. I do understand why some people might find her big twist endings a little over the top, but for me, I think it really works. I think it's a part of what makes her books so entertaining. So if you do already kind of know and like Freida McFadden's style, then you'll probably enjoy this one. If you don't, then it's probably not going to change your mind. I wouldn't say that I particularly felt connected to any of the characters. They weren't especially likable characters. In fact, I think they were downright frustrating at times. However, I do think that that sort of thing works for this kind of story. They were very much there to serve the plot, and in a twist-heavy thriller like this, I didn't mind so much. I do think that the concept and the twists were definitely the strongest elements. I also really enjoy an isolated setting. It might be a little bit cliche, but I do love that atmosphere of being trapped with no way out and things are slowly starting to unravel. The tension also builds really well, especially in the tape recordings. It keeps you engaged without needing constant action. It definitely delivered what I expect from a Freida McFadden thriller. It's more atmospheric with tension building rather than fast-paced action throughout the book. So as for the question, would I recommend the book? Yes, absolutely. If you do enjoy easy to read thrillers or twist heavy stories and you already like Freida McFadden's writing style, then you probably will enjoy this one. However, if you don't like Freida McFadden's writing, then this one's not going to change your mind. So will I be reading any more by this author? Yes, absolutely. As I said before, Freida McFadden is a pretty easy win for me, so which one should I read next? So earlier on in the video, I said that you would get plenty of warning for any upcoming spoilers. Now, this is that moment, so if you haven't read this book yet, I would suggest going doing that first, because beyond this point, there'll absolutely be spoilers. So that ending, I genuinely didn't see it coming, that Trisha had planned everything all along. The reveal that she was in fact a patient of the doctor's and she'd orchestrated this whole thing to get back into the house because of what she'd done and because she wanted to uncover the truth about what the doctor had done. I think it worked really well. And as messed up as it was, I kind of liked that ending for her and Ethan. I think that they belong together in a very messed up and morally questionable way. I know that some people have pointed out a few inconsistencies early on, like her internal thoughts early on, or why wasn't she better prepared, but I honestly don't mind that so much. For me, it makes sense that she wouldn't want to act out of the ordinary, but also not being better prepared sort of give her plausible reasons for certain choices, like, not having the right shoes to go out and seek help earlier on. And her thoughts didn't necessarily contradict anything, they just didn't reveal the full truth. Like, I think that even though she had been in that house before, she can still find this abandoned house by the woman that she had killed pretty creepy and not want to buy it. Also, she's clearly not operating with a completely healthy mindset, and I think that that's established with everything that we learn about her past. So for me, the twist held up enough to still be satisfying. So overall, Never Lie is a very engaging, easy to read thriller with a strong twist and a great atmosphere. It's not trying to be overly complex, it knows what it is, and I think that it delivers on that really well. If you've read it, let me know what you thought, especially about that ending. Next week, we're discussing The Gentlest of Wild Things by Sarah Underwood. So don't forget to get your thoughts and comments in by Sunday, the 12th of April at the latest to be a part of the discussion. You can now do this on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or Discord. The following week will be the last letter, but don't forget, if you do need a little bit longer to read a book, we do now list the next 4 books down below, along with the discussion dates. That way you can choose a genre that best suits you, and the best time frame to read it in. Thank you all for joining, and if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, it's always appreciated, and I will see you next week. Bye! If you like romance, fantasy, or even thriller, basically anything fiction book related, then I suggest you head on over to the channel's intro video, where you can find out more information on how you can take part in this online book club. We announce books at least 12 weeks in advance, and we accept your bookish feedback in a wide manner of ways. Post your comment below a video, send in a voice note, or even send me a short video clip of you discussing the book. Alternatively, you can just send me a direct message.